Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Today, we're diving into a powerful and emotional moment. The day Alex's mother performs a sacred family ritual to officially accept baby Henry as her god grandson. But what truly makes this story unforgettable is the question that hangs in the air. Will she open her heart and fully embrace the child she once kept at a distance? Stay with us as we uncover this touching ceremony filled with tradition, love, and unexpected warmth. If you enjoy the story, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss our upcoming videos. Early in the morning, Alex sat in his office surrounded by documents, glowing screens, and the usual noise of business. But none of it held his attention. His mind wasn't on contracts or numbers. It was on something far more personal, far more emotional than anything happening within those walls. Because that afternoon, his mother would perform a sacred family ritual. A moment that would officially welcome baby Henry into the Nguyen lineage, not by blood, but by heart. She would recognize him as her god grandson, a role held with deep honor and protection in Vietnamese tradition. It was a ceremony that symbolized acceptance, commitment, and family bonds that go beyond biological ties. By noon, Alex couldn't focus any longer. He closed his laptop, grabbed his keys, and headed out, the weight of the day settling meaningfully on his shoulders. The closer he got to the farm, the more he felt a mix of anticipation and nervous energy humming through his chest. When he arrived, Tuna was already waiting at the gate, Henry perched on her hip. She wasn't simply standing, she was hoping. Her expression blended happiness with quiet anxiety, as though she wanted to believe everything was going to be okay, but still feared disappointment. The moment Henry spotted Alex, he brightened instantly, kicking his tiny feet and stretching his arms out. His laughter echoed through the yard, and Alex felt the warmth of that sound settle directly into his heart. Tuna walked up to him, her voice soft but trembling just slightly. "Will your mother truly accept Henry today?" Alex looked toward the horizon, where the sun was dipping into a gentle orange glow. The answer wasn't complicated. It was already decided. "She prepared the ritual herself," he said. "Today, Henry becomes part of the family, not just in name, in spirit." With that reassurance, the three of them made their way to the house together. Inside, Alex's mother was waiting. The moment she saw Henry, her entire face lit up with a radiant, emotional smile, the kind that spoke louder than any words could. She didn't hesitate, didn't pause, didn't question. She walked straight to them and wrapped Henry in her arms, gently, tenderly, like she had been waiting for this moment far longer than she'd ever admitted. She fussed over him immediately. Was the drive too long for him? Is he hungry? Let me prepare some warm milk. It wasn't the behavior of someone holding back. It was the behavior of a grandmother embracing the child she had already claimed in her heart. Henry relaxed against her chest, small and peaceful, as she fed him with a bottle she warmed herself. He snuggled close, trusting and content, and the whole room softened around them, the air fuller, warmer, calmer. Meanwhile, Alex and Tuna moved quietly around the ancestral altar, preparing the offerings with care. Bright yellow chrysanthemums arranged neatly in the vase, a whole boiled chicken placed at the center, red sticky rice glowing richly in a porcelain bowl, and a small cup of wine set beside it. Incense sticks burned gently, winding thin trails of smoke upward, filling the house with a sacred sense of presence. Tuna kept glancing toward Alex's mother, watching every gesture, every smile, every breath. And with each passing second, she seemed to relax a little more. Finally, the preparations were complete. Alex's mother lifted Henry, holding him carefully but proudly, and stepped in front of the ancestral altar. Her voice became steady and reverent as she folded her hands. "I ask the ancestors to witness," she prayed. "Today, Henry is officially accepted as our god-grandson. May he be blessed with health, strength, and a bright, good future." Tuna bowed deeply beside her, overwhelmed, not just by gratitude, but by relief. For so long she worried that acceptance would never come, and now it was here, beautifully, fully, undeniably. Alex watched them, his mother holding his son before the altar. An emotion rose in him like a tide. Henry wasn't just his child anymore. He was family. He was recognized. He belonged. Henry blinked slowly, his tiny eyes reflecting the warm glow of the altar candles. The rising incense smoke curled around him like soft ribbons, and he reached out with both hands, waving at the air as if he somehow understood the sacredness of the moment. His gentle curiosity made everyone smile. Even Alex's mother paused her prayer to look at him with deep affection. She lowered her head and pressed a kiss onto Henry's forehead, her voice soft and warm. "From today on, I will be the one who protects you." Those words weren't just symbolic. In Vietnamese tradition, when an elder accepts a child as a god-grandchild before the ancestral altar, they take on a lifelong responsibility to guide, to protect, and to help ensure a good future. It was a commitment of the heart, rooted in generations of family belief. Tuna, overwhelmed, brought both hands to her face. Tears slipped through her fingers before she could stop them. They came not from sadness, but from the power of relief, from the acceptance she had feared she would never receive. She bowed again, deeply, reverently, giving thanks not only to the ancestors, but to the woman who had just embraced her child as her own. Alex stepped closer, gently placing a reassuring hand on Tuna's back. She leaned toward him for a moment, not seeking comfort, but grounding herself in the reality unfolding in front of her. A reality she had once been too afraid to imagine. His mother continued the ceremony with practiced grace. She lit a final stick of incense, circled it gently before the altar, and then placed it into the incense bowl. The smoke rose in a steady line, thin but unwavering, as if carrying her prayer upward. Henry cooed softly, resting peacefully in her arms. When the last part of the ritual ended, an almost sacred stillness filled the house. It was the kind of silence that feels full, not empty, carrying decades of tradition, belief, and love within it. Alex's mother turned and placed Henry back into Tuna's arms, but she didn't step away. Instead, she brushed Henry's cheek lightly and spoke with warmth that melted any remaining distance. "From now on, this is your home too," she told him. Then she looked up at Tuna. "And yours as well." Tuna's breath caught. "Thank you. Truly," she whispered, her voice trembling with emotion. Alex's mother smiled gently. "You've raised him well. You deserve this moment." They moved to the dining table next, where a simple but heartfelt family meal had been prepared. Dishes of warm rice, vegetables from the farm, and leftover offerings were placed in the center. This meal wasn't part of the ritual, but it was part of the acceptance. Sharing food, in their culture, meant sharing space, sharing belonging. As they ate, Alex's mother held Henry close, rocking him gently whenever he fussed. Her actions weren't forced. They weren't polite. They were instinctive, the gestures of a grandmother embracing the child she already loved. Alex watched her with quiet gratitude. For a long time, he had worried about how his family might react to Henry. He feared judgment, complications, or barriers he wouldn't know how to overcome. But today proved something important. Love, the real kind, doesn't need perfect circumstances. It only needs willingness. After the meal, the sun dipped low, casting orange light across the wooden floors. The atmosphere felt lighter, warmer, almost glowing. Henry had fallen asleep, tiny hands curled up near his face. Alex's mother carefully adjusted the blanket around him, her movements gentle and protective. She looked at Alex with a soft smile, one he hadn't seen in a long time. "You've done well," she said quietly. "He is a blessing. Our family is stronger with him." Alex swallowed, emotion tightening his throat. "Thank you, Mom." She shook her head. "No, thank you for bringing him home." The evening settled peacefully. Lytuna stood beside Alex, watching his mother cradle Henry, their family finally connected, not by obligation, but by choice, and by love. The ritual was complete, but its meaning lingered. A bridge had been built, a child had been welcomed, and a family, once uncertain, now stood whole. This episode follows a deeply emotional turning point in Alex's family. While working at the office, Alex is distracted by the upcoming ritual his mother will perform, a sacred Vietnamese tradition to officially accept baby Henry as her god-grandson. When he arrives at the farm, Lytuna anxiously asks whether his mother will truly embrace Henry. Alex reassures her that the ritual is already prepared. At the house, Alex's mother warmly welcomes Henry, feeding him and holding him with genuine affection. Together, the family prepares offerings at the ancestral altar. During the ceremony, Alex's mother lifts Henry and declares him an official god-grandson, asking the ancestors to bless his future. Lytuna is overwhelmed with relief, and Alex watches with deep emotion as his mother fully accepts Henry. The ritual ends with the family united, complete through love and tradition.